These are my thoughts on Volume 4, Episode 2, Remembrance. I'm gonna tell you the good, and I'm gonna tell you the bad. The episode starts with Weiss walking around her ginormous mansion, where we run into someone I didn't even know existed. Whitleyan, her brother. What? When did she get a brother? Am I just that oblivious? Has it been implied that there was a third child in the Schnee family? Because if it was, I'm stupid. However, it's a very interesting development for Weiss. Why has she never mentioned him? She seems very annoyed. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but she wasn't happy when she saw him. We then get a nice family portrait where literally no one is happy but the father. We know how awful the sister's childhood was. The brother is still very blurry at this point. The wife, not looking so hot. Not in like her physical attractiveness, but more like she's been drinking to forget. We then go to Team Ranger, who come across a village that is destroyed by bandits. Bandits, always an obstacle for heroes who like to travel. I love that Ren and Nora are gonna have some development based on how they're looking at that symbol. However, to me, it seemed very odd that they placed that there as like a calling card. Usually that's a serial killer type action, someone who works alone or is the face of a group. However, there is a saying, what's the point in committing the perfect crime if no one knows you're the one who did it? So I'm looking forward to the development there. I do hope, however, that it's not a these guys killed my parents type of situation, but we'll see. We then get to see Ironwood, who's growing some facial hair. I'm not against it. Sometimes a general just has to go with the trend to look good nowadays. That's all I have to say about him. Papa Schnee, as expected, is a dick. He wants to take advantage of his daughter's situation for his own gain, but I'll get more into him in a future theory. Also, this was probably just a me thing, but with that mustache, for me at least, he slipped into a bit of a Nigel Thornberry accent, and I couldn't unsee that.
A precautionary measure, as he puts it.
No creature threatens a Thornberry.
We meet the butler, Klein, who honestly, I'm not exactly trusting of. He comes across with a fatherly or like a wacky uncle type love, but the thing that threw me off was his eyes. When he went evil, his eyes went red. I get it, comedy's sake, he's acting evil so his eyes went red. But then when he was sneezing, his eyes went blue, when his natural eye color is a yellowish brown. Seemed out of place and made me not trust him. Alright, God knows I'm going against the current on this final topic. Pyrrha. So from my understanding, either Jean has been practicing the same 3 moves that were in the video, or Pyrrha recorded a bunch of different training videos, which I hope is not the case. The scene reminded me of Breaking Bad. Spoilers, minor spoilers. The scene where Jesse kept listening to his dead girlfriend's voicemail, as it was the last and only thing that had her in it. That is what this Jean and Pyrrha scene reminded me of. However, going against the current here, I wasn't that big of a fan when I heard her voice. I get it, the emotions, the feels, and all that, all of the appropriate emotions they want you to feel. I love Pyrrha, I love Jen Brown, but she's dead. I hope she stays dead. I was hoping that the last time I saw Pyrrha was when she was turned to dust, maybe in a couple flashbacks down the road. Something that shows don't do that I wish they would is harsh reality. Not everything ends with a happy ending. Most times you don't get closure. I get why shows don't do it, they want to keep the fans happy and still watching. I just want characters to die unfulfilled, not dying a hero with so much story left to be told. It's why I'm such an advocate for Yang dying unfulfilled. I don't know, maybe it's just the villain in me. Moving on. Jean getting really good at that 3-hit combo, throwing a bit of a shockwave, which is useful since he doesn't have a gun. There wasn't much bad in this episode, rather more things that made me raise an eyebrow and just threw me off guard. So everything you just heard were my initial thoughts, which is why I left all that in. A little behind the scenes right now, I recorded all of that October 29th, the day it was released for first members on the site. It is now November 4th, 6 days later and 1 day before it's released on YouTube. And I've added this in now because I've had time to sit on that whole Jean and Pyrrha scene. Apparently it took 6 days, but my attitude towards it has changed. While yes, my initial thoughts and emotions toward it were kind of annoyed, now I do see it as sweet and nice. I always knew the power and strength that scene had, it just didn't sit right with me at the time. Now, it's settled into a nice sweet emotion. I feel as though I needed to go back and add this in. Now, throw it back to my past self. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you enjoy it? What didn't you like? And what predictions do you have? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.